The good news, the Brewers had a winning homestand against two teams that are contending for a wild card spot. The bad news, the Brewers got some injuries in that left side of the infield. We're going to talk about that next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Good to have you along. Chuck Freimund here as we start a new week. Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Longtime sportscaster here in the great state of Wisconsin. Been covering the Brewers for a long, long time. So, man, appreciate you. This is the spot to be for all your Brewers coverage right here. News and commentary here on Locked On Brewers. Coming up on the show, we're going to preview this road trip that the Brewers are going on. 3 in San Diego, 4 in Los Angeles. We'll start by talking about the Padres coming up here in a little bit. Also, bullpen greatness for the Milwaukee Brewers. But are the injuries going to cause some chaos on the left side of the infield that already did on Sunday? We'll get to that coming up here in a little bit. This episode brought to you by FanDuel. Join all the action on FanDuel. Play daily dingers. Make your free pick on who's going to hit a home run this MLB season. So that was a shocker Sunday morning. I feel like the Brewers dropped these surprises on us out of nowhere. And it's like, what? How is this guy hurt? He played all 9 innings last night. And this time it's Cooper Pratt on the injured list with a hamstring strain. Again, he played the game on Saturday night. There was nothing ever said about it. And Sunday, they took him off to get an MRI done, which we don't know the results of as of this recording of this podcast late Sunday night. But, man, the fact that he's got to go on the injured list and he's been playing so well. I mean, he's come in and fit so well in, especially as of late. He was like 7 of his last 19 at the plate, just hitting really well defensively, really just playing the part that we wanted of him at shortstop. Then Ortiz, well, didn't play Saturday. Sound like he would have been available on an emergency basis on Sunday, but he's got a neck soreness right now. And with Pratt and Ortiz, you had to start Hamilton at shortstop for a first time and Vaughn over at third. And that's just the beginning of it, because toward the end, you didn't know if you went mega extra innings, you would have had maybe the pitchers bat, some guys who've never batted. It could have been a real debacle had that game gone far deep into extra innings. Thank goodness that Jake Bauers finished that game off in the bottom of the 10th inning. They had to use Jawan Bay, who they just signed, who was released by the Mets. And here's a guy who's bounced around in the league a little bit, not a real good hitter. This is just the kind of guy the Brewers pick up, a guy who's just not, couldn't find his way on any major league team, trying to find a job. And last week he was at Syracuse, AAA Syracuse, the top farm team of the Mets. And the Mets just said, we don't see any future in you. So he got a phone call from the Brewers, said, hey, well, we might need you. So they sent him to Nashville, and then they brought him up to the parent team today on Sunday morning, and they said, we're going to put you on the taxi squad. Well, after these injuries started, he got to play. He played 4 innings at second base, and they had to move Terang over to short. It was just wild. So when they moved Terang to shortstop, here's my first thought. The fact that, and this is nothing against Bay, okay, but I was thinking, God, I got such pushback here from people when I said, let's go get Arias. Oh, no, he can't play anywhere but second base. Well, why can't we move Terang to shortstop? Or why couldn't we move Terang to third base? I mean, the Phillies moved Harper out to right field. Why can't we to get another bat on this team? I think they needed another bat. And here we are, didn't get a bat at the trading deadline, and we're going off and getting guys who were cast off by the worst team in baseball. Bay, I should say. But again, no disrespect to him, but man, we're trying to win my mode is we're trying to win a World Series here. But the Brewers, as they always do, they somehow defy all the odds when it looks like, man, Gosh, DL Hall, the pitching spot, is 5th in the order. He's going to have to bat. What? Terang is playing shortstop. Why is Vaughn playing third base? And you look at the lineup and say, oh, my goodness. And then the Brewers always seem to find a way to get the job done. They always do. It's just incredible. But, man, with the injury to Pratt, that I don't like seeing that because not only is he a contributor, hopefully it's nothing serious, that it's nothing more than hamstrings. But hamstrings are never like a 10-day thing, right? I feel like a hamstring strain, sometimes it's just, I hate to be the voice of doom on that, but man, when I hear a guy's got a hamstring strain, I'm like, oh boy. Like Ortiz, the neck soreness, I mean, the neck is nothing you want to mess around with, but okay, the neck, he's day-to-day. But hamstring with our guy Pratt, my goodness. So, Bauers coming up with the base hit in extra innings. And yes, send Terang. You got to send Terang. There's been debate whether or not they should send Terang. Man, you got to take a chance there. And they did. Erickson, third base coach. Great job sending him. Our guy Ed Cedar would have for sure sent him. But he sent him, and yes, barely safe, but you had to find a way to win that game in the bottom of the 10th inning. You didn't want to go 11, 12 innings. The Brewers were throwing DL Hall in the top of the 10th inning, and who knows who's next, because the Brewers, to start this road trip, are down a few relievers, you got to believe. But still, a win is a win. They lose on Monday, they lose on Friday night, and they come back and they win on Saturday and Sunday. And this is a day that Miz pitched. The Brewers are 4-2 in his last 6 starts. Miz went 6 innings, gave up 2 home runs, 4 hits. Now, it wasn't a great outing. He gave up a 2-run homer to tie it up in the 6th. It was not a great outing by his standards, because, again, the standards we set for him are a little different than the standards we set for Brandon Sproat at this point, or Shane Drone, right? Miz is the phenom. He is the Miz. So, yeah, but I see still pitched fine. Got over the 200 strikeout mark for the season, the first major leaguer to do it, which that was phenomenal. 6 innings, 9 Ks, 4 hits, 2 runs. Wasn't a big deal for him that he went over the 200 strikeout total. Great. Second fastest in MLB history. Where would he be if they weren't tapering off his starts? I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but gosh, I feel like he's always on a pitch count. Well, they're all on pitch counts, but he's always on like man, we're not going to let him go any further than 5 or 6 innings today. But he went 6 innings, and he pitched real good, I thought, by anybody's standards. But by Miz's standards, maybe not so much. 9K, 6, because, right, Miz has been so phenomenal. He has set that bar really, really high for himself. But we'll take him. Murph, after the game on Miz, says Miz has got a long ways to go. Now, he didn't say that in a negative sense, meaning that he was saying it like, well, how we see Miz now, there is another level of greatness for him. Said he was really proud of him, but he's just saying there's more there with Miz. I don't know, man. He's already got his control under control, which he didn't have last year. But we'll see. I mean, as a pitcher, I'm sure he's got a long way to go. But he's not going to be throwing 108 miles an hour. I don't think the Brewers want that. They want control. They want pinpoint control. They want him to locate his pitches. That's more important. As Murph has said many times, these major leaguers can hit a fastball, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, 2 guys did it on Sunday afternoon. So, but Miz, we'll take it. Lara, a couple of great catches out there. But I'll tell you, one of those catches made it a lot more difficult than he should have. He got spun around. I don't think Lara is there yet defensively. And I know he was great in the minors and all that. He still looks a little uncomfortable in right field, right? I mean, do you notice that? Or am I nitpicking here that I still feel with Lara, he's bumping into outfielders when the ball's hit the right center field, and the center fielders there, like Garrett Mitchell, Lara's got to get out of the way. That's Mitchell's ball a few times, and a few times there's been some collisions. Well, nothing serious, but we don't want it to turn into that. I thought the ball, Lara made 2 athletic catches. All right. Yeah. On one, the first one, he might have misjudged, but he's so athletic and so good that he can make up for it. You know, there's other guys in the league who are playing right field who would have been spun around and they couldn't find the ball, and that would have been terrible. But guys like him and Frelick are so good defensively, but he's still getting more comfortable out in right field. He's far from there. One thing about him playing right field, Murphy's saying this. Murphy said, I could have played him in center field, but I want him to get comfortable in right field. Interesting. I want him to get comfortable in right field. Why is that, Pat? You got Frelick, who's on a rehab assignment right now, and I'm sure he's thought of this. What happens when Frelick comes back? Lara, you can't take him out of the lineup. Frelick wasn't hit very well, but he loves Frelick. Murph, though, in classic Murph, you know, call Frelick the best right fielder in the game. Now, I know he loves Frelick, and we all know Frelick's not one of the best defensive players in the game in right field. But I do think, as I said, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I do feel Frelick is going to be on the trade block in the offseason. Right? One of those guys is going to be the starter, and I think it's Lara. Frelick is the guy I think they're going to deal. But Murphy kind of prop it up. Frelick, the best right fielder in the game. You want to do that too. You know, not only you want to prop up your guy, but you know, you're going to have to trade. You might be trading him in the offseason. I mean, that's the way I read this thing. But Lara, 2 good catches. One got turned around, but still, we'll take it. Frelick, as I mentioned, we learned Saturday he's on a rehab assignment. And then we'll see how they massage that when it gets back in right field. Those things always seem to work themselves out. But man, I don't know how you could take Lara out of there. When we come back, we'll talk about the bullpen greatness. And the bullpen has just been phenomenal, including one guy I think that's not getting enough credit. All right, we'll get to that next here on Locked On Brewers. Big thank you to Amazon for this limited break. Back to school season, spend less than your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy the back to school shopping experience can be. Starts with a couple of items on the list, and that list keeps going. Supplies, clothes, lunch gear, tech, about 10 other things you didn't see coming. It happens real fast. How about the growth spurt your kid has? You buy clothes for your kid, 2 weeks later, he's outgrown them. Well, this is where Amazon's going to help you out. You start shopping for a few essentials for back to school, and that list keeps growing. Supplies, clothes, lunch gear, keeps going on and on and on. That's why finding all the things you need happens at Amazon. Plus, you get it delivered to your house or wherever you want it delivered to. You don't have to take your kid around the various retail stores because he wants to get back with his boys and play and do whatever, maybe play some video games, play some ball with the kids. He doesn't want to be going shopping. Get to Amazon. Remember, Amazon, low back to school prices. Spend less on your kids because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. Shop back to school at Amazon and spend less on your kids. And of course, before we go any farther, Google, Spotify, Apple, all the major downloads were the #1 Brewers podcast on the audio platform, as well as our YouTube page. If you're watching us or if you're listening to us on those audio platforms, we're also on YouTube. Please subscribe. We're looking to get to 10,000. We are getting more and more subscribers every day. I'm so proud of that. And I love that, man. This community, this Brewers community, was just coming out of one of the local gas stations today. And a guy was coming back, just coming from a fishing tournament. And he said, man, watch Locked On Brewers every day. In fact, I just had you on in the car. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like people like that, you guys out there, running to you every day. If you see me wherever, whether it's a gas station or, you know, at the ballpark or on the golf course, man, please stop and say hello. I really appreciate you guys, all of you guys, man, for tuning in and downloading Locked On Brewers every day. Be coming in every day. Or bullpen greatness for the Milwaukee Brewers. The guy who I think is not getting enough credit right now is Trevor McGill. He's converted 21 of 23 save chances. And I think he's been pretty good, man. Darn good. He had a four-pitch save. Was it today or last night? Now the games are running in together. Was it today or last night? Might have been today. I think it was today, the four-pitch save. But I feel like all of his save opportunities are starting to run together because he's been phenomenal coming out of the bullpen. Right? The guy lost his starting position. He lost his closer's position early in the season, but he has roared back with a vengeance here. When it looked like Uribe was going to take it, and then they were doing matchups and all that, but now it's McGill. And speaking of Uribe, well, you'd feel comfortable if Uribe was your closer. Now, Uribe wasn't real great today in his inning. He didn't do the dice roll or anything like that. He didn't do any of that today because he was lucky to get out of a bases loaded situation. Scoreless outing. In fact, that was his 21st straight scoreless outing dating back to June 20th. He's had 21 straight scoreless outings dating back to the 21st of June. Wow. Amazing. So Uribe has been phenomenal. McGill has been phenomenal. Ashby, who got the win on Saturday night, 13-2. Yeah, he's had his struggles, but for the most part, we can count on him. Senzatella coughed up a couple of runs on Friday night, but I feel good with that guy. Patrick overcame some of his struggles, and I feel like he is getting back on track. They get JoJo Romero into this thing. They're going to be all right. A lot to like about the bullpen. Just throwing up zeros every game. A starter will go 5 or 6 innings, and here comes the bullpen. Middle relief, Chad Patrick, and then everybody else. Even in losses. The other night, Friday night, after the 6th inning, after the Brewers were down 8-6 in the 6th inning, and the bullpen shut the Twins down for the final 3 innings, gave the Brewers a shot to come back. They couldn't do it, but still the bullpen hung in there. Bullpen was great Saturday and Sunday. Going to need the bullpen. Now, unfortunately, I think some of these guys are going to be exhausted and are not going to be available for game 1 tonight against San Diego. We'll talk about that. But the bullpen was darn good. The Brewers are 30 games over the 500 mark. 74 and 40. I'm going to just double check this real quick. 74 and 44. Yes, 74 and 44. The Brewers are continuing to roll. They have a 5.5 game lead on the Cubs. The Cubs took 2 or 3 from Kansas City this weekend. They lost on Saturday night, and of course they bounced back and they won 10-2 on Sunday. So it was funny on Friday night. The Cubs closed within 4.5 of Milwaukee because they won and the Brewers lost. So they closed within 4.5. And I'm getting messages, DMs from Cubs fans because they all love to Chicago fan when they get just a little glimmer of light. Man, they go overboard. And that goes for everybody who does sports talk down there and everybody. That goes for everybody in Chicago. Media, man, they get a glimmer, just a little glimmer of hope. Man, they're ready to roll. They're all on the bandwagon. And that's true. That's definitely true. I've been hearing that for 50 years down there. So, and that's fine. They got to get behind their teams, right? That's fine. But it's Friday night. I'm hearing from all these Chicago Cubs fans. We're coming after you. We're within 4.5, Chuck. Team lifeless. How is team lifeless now? 4.5 back. Hey, well, they're 19 games over the 500 mark. Yeah, the Cubs aren't the team lifeless they were last year, or they were during that double-digit losing streak earlier this year. I've said the Cubs, yes, they're going to hang in there. But are they going to catch Milwaukee? I don't think so. I would not put my money on anybody. If I would go to FanDuel right now and bet on the divisional race, the odds got to be pretty heavy for Milwaukee to win the division yet, and I'd take Milwaukee. But Cub fans, Friday night, don't be coming after me. You're 5.5 out, Cub fans. You're 5.5 out. 4.5 out. Here we come, Chuck. Oh, come on, please. Please. Gosh. All right, yeah, they did take 2 or 3. They're taking on Washington coming up next. But as long as the Brewers keep taking series, that's what they've been doing. They've been doing a lot of that. And I know Friday night, sometimes the Brewers, like both these series at home, the Pirates series, they lost game 1 on Monday, came back to win the next 3 against the Pirates. The Brewers lose game 1 against Minnesota, and they still end up winning the series anyway. If you went on the live series line there, you were in good shape. You probably got way better odds after the opening loss. All right, the Brewers will play San Diego coming up. 3 games with them. San Diego, I don't know. I just think the Padres, despite the records that they get every year, just underachievers. They, to me, should be a lot better than they are. We'll get to that next here on Locked On Brewers. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's going to hit a home run today, FanDuel's giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Easy to play. You make your free pick on who you think is going to hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use for your next bet for a chance at even greater winnings, extra winnings. So get on all the action. Best of all, you can make your free pick every day throughout the MLB season. There's no charge for that. Daily Dingers is a fun way to stay engaged with everyday games. Whether you're following your team or following all the matchups around the league, every game's got someone capable of going deep. Now's your chance to make your prediction before the first pitch. I'm going to go with Bryce Terang, our guy Bryce Terang, game 1 in San Diego. I think he goes yard a little bit later on tonight. So that's who I'm picking. Who are you going to play? So when you're ready to play your game today, join all the action at FanDuel. FanDuel.com. Play daily dingers and make your free pick on who is going to hit a home run. Also, I'm telling you, you're going to love their live betting on FanDuel. Man, it is so good. FanDuel, the official partner of MLB. We are also brought to you by Odoo. With Odoo, hey, business owners out there, some of you guys who are running companies, executives, running a business, as you know, it shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that are never designed to work together in the first place. You got one app for accounting, you got another for inventory, another for sales. Somehow none of them ever talk to each other. And that's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is the all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform, from sales, accounting to inventory, everything, marketing, everything's in one place, helping your team move faster, stay organized, and focused on growing the business instead of managing software. The best organizations know that success is just not about talent. It's about having everyone working toward that same goal. Just like sports, it's the same thing in business. Great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Odoo, they will point you in the right direction. Try it for free today. Odoo.com/lockedon. Odoo, ODOO.com/lockedon. Odoo.com. And by the way, if you ever want to get a hold of me, hit me up on Twitter, Chuck Freimund, Freimund. That's hit me up on the DMs anytime you like. I will get back to you. I promise I will. Or you want to hit me up on Facebook as well. I'm on Facebook. You could we can become Facebook friends if you want. So those are the 2 spots. I will promise you I will always get back to you because, like I said before, man, I really appreciate everybody following us here on Locked On Brewers. All right, the Padres, 61-57. They're a game and a half out of the wild card spot right now. And their offense isn't very good. And we all thought at the trading deadline that the Padres were going to be sellers. I mean, there's no way they're catching the Dodgers. But they were buyers. They went out and bought Robbie Ray and Casey Mize. And, there's a team that's got no shot at winning the division title. But yet they went out there and are trying to get that third wild card spot. And they went out and got a couple of the top pitchers on the trade deadline. If I said free agency, I meant the trade block last Monday, the trading deadline. Robbie Ray and Casey Mize. Now, neither one of those guys were particularly good in their first outings. Not at all. Neither one of those guys. Both struggled. But the Brewers will face both of those guys in this series. Padres right now, it sounds like they're going to line up like this. Mize on Monday, Walker Buehler on Tuesday, and he got shelled in his last outing, and then Robbie Ray comes up on Wednesday. So Mize, Buehler, and Ray for Milwaukee, Henderson, Harrison, and May. I like that. Now, the problem with Henderson, Harrison, and May is you're going to have the bottom part of your rotation pitching this weekend against the Dodgers before we get back up to Mizorowski. So the way I get, if the Brewers stay with this rotation, you would think it's going to be Henderson. It's going to be Miz on Saturday night, right? Because there's no days off. And if the Brewers stick with the 6-man, which I don't see them continuing to do, I know Murph's not a huge fan of it because you're short in the bullpen, but Henderson, Harrison, and May, I like those three right there. Handle this. That's a big series. Well, they're all big. They're all big, but the Dodgers series, that's a 2-game swing there as you're trying to get one of the top 2 seeds in the National League. So it's a huge series in that sense. Right now, I'm worried about the NL Central. Number 1, number 2, getting one of those top 2 seeds. Padres picked up Austin Hayes, who was DFA'd by the White Sox. That's a good pickup for the Padres. And of course, we all thought they were going to trade Mason Miller. Not we all thought, but I did. Thought they were going to trade Mason Miller, maybe to the Yankees. He was like the number 1 guy I wanted to come here, Mason Miller. And the Padres chose not to trade him. They are, like I said, they're all in on this. But their offense is bankrupt. Their starting pitching is little suspect. And right now they're battling it out with Arizona for that final wild card spot. The Padres, they have made the postseason in 4 of the last 6 years. In fact, a couple of days ago on the podcast, I was talking about teams that have the best record in baseball since 2024. Milwaukee, of course, is number 1. The Padres are 5th. Well, I feel like the Padres always flame out in the postseason. And they do share one thing in common with the Milwaukee Brewers. They have yet to win a World Series. A couple of guys struggling for them. Machado's batting .213. He was batting like 176 when the Padres were here. Machado, 23 home runs, batting .213. Bogarts batting .222. Jackson Merrill's having a nice year. He's got 18 home runs. Tatis, 11 home runs, .282 for Tatis. Okay season for Tatis. Machado batting .213, 23 homers. But we'll see our guy Renifo, right? Renifo has been playing real well for them, for the Padres. He was a pickup by them, and he's been outstanding. He has risen his overall average to .235. But Renifo has been getting starts at third base, coming off the bench, and he got called up a couple of weeks ago from AAA, and he's been real good for them. The Brewers tried Renifo here, and it just didn't work. Now the Brewers got some question marks because of injuries at short and third base. We'll see what kind of lineup they come up with on Monday night. I like Vaughn playing third base. I'm good with that. He kind of looks like Matt Williams, right? Doesn't he I'm not saying he is Matt Williams, but he kind of looks like Matt Williams. He just got that build. His facial looks a little like Matt Williams, the former Giants third baseman. Look him up on Twitter. Look him up on Google. You'll see Matt Williams there, who was not a Hall of Famer, but a real good player. All right, that's going to do it. We'll talk to you again. We got a late night game on Monday. So probably early Tuesday morning. We'll talk to you next, right? That's going to do it. Thanks for being an everydayer. My name is Chuck Freimund. Thanks for tuning in to Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day.